African, a very warm welcome to you. This is Afternoon Express. Welcome to a brand new week with me, Jeannie D.
Absolutely.
And of course, my lovely Pali.
Pali Dembe in the house. Welcome, South Africa. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for choosing us this Monday, as you do every single day of the week. We truly appreciate it.
The phenomenal Michelle Obama, one of my heroes, once said that as women, we must stand up for ourselves. We must stand up for each other. We must stand up for justice for all. Now, we all know that women in the workplace experience vast difficulties in male-dominated industries across the country and across the globe. According to the Chamber of Mines South Africa, women only represent 18% of the workforce in the mining industry. Not good enough.
Not good enough indeed. So in studio today, we meet Senior Mining Engineer Maida Nduli and Senior Technologist Hazel Bumba. Now, Maida and Hazel are working women in the world of science and mining. And they're both here to give us some expertise on their extensive experience in their respective fields. Now, they join us to talk about their experience in the mining industry as hard-working women.
And I really appreciate the work that they do, because nobody loves the fruits of mining like diamonds quite like I do.
Absolutely, darling. It's a girl's best friend.
Now, with the painful and unacceptable violence that has been happening in the country in regards to women and girls, it is so important to center the value of all women in the country. We see you, we support you, and we absolutely love you. Protect yourselves and protect each other.
Precisely, Jeannie. I couldn't have said better myself. And we look forward to having these hard conversations here in studio, not only to raise awareness, but to find solutions with the intention of creating meaningful change. Now, connect with us online and tell us how you are an industry leader in whatever you're doing. Tweet us at Afternoon Chat using the hashtag Afternoon Express, or comment on our Facebook page.
Exactly. Now, let's get on with the show. After weeks of battling it out in Johannesburg, Durban and Cape Town, the top 12 national finalists of the next brand ambassador have been chosen. These 12 contestants from all over South Africa are some of the country's top young aspiring marketers. Now, the stage is set for 3 of them to become the next brand ambassador. Can you believe it? It's 3 now. Let's meet the first 6 contestants from Johannesburg.
On the next episode of The Next Brand Ambassador, things kick up a notch as the top 12 get their first challenge working for a real brand.
Things are about to get serious now.
Right about now, I'm going to actually ask who's got issues.
Kanye comes in, guns blazing.
What is happening?
Kanye should be coming in your heart.
Honey, I told you so.
As always, Tennille has something to say.
Bye-bye.
That's The Next Brand Ambassador, Thursday at 7:30 p.m. on SABC3. Proudly brought to you by Capitec.
So if you've got any questions for the contestants, please do leave a comment, and don't forget to use the hashtag Afternoon Express. Well, welcome to the show, guys. How amazing to have you here. And how happy are you that Joburg has just done so well? Very happy. There must be something in the water, or what?
It definitely is to the climate of Johannesburg. It's fast-paced, there's a lot of pressure.
Exactly.
You know, so we kind of had to...
We're competitive people.
Absolutely.
Well, listen, there is something about Joburg. I grew up in Joburg and I live in Cape Town, and I said, you know, to survive in Cape Town, you need a Joburg work ethic. So Joburg work ethic is absolutely magic. What happened, though, with one of the first challenges that you had to do, the flash mob?
Flash mob.
It was a flash, but there was definitely no mob.
No mob justice.
There was no one. Literally no one.
Yeah. Where's everybody at shopping centres during the day in Joburg?
Clearly not shopping.
Clearly not.
Yeah. So take us through what happened that day.
Well, what happened is we got there in the morning. I don't think Joburg is shop in the morning regularly. So there was no action except us, and we had to like improvise by having the guys from the restaurants to come support and just to cause a bit of commotion. But it was bad.
It was awkward.
It was a bad day.
How have you found the challenges? Quite difficult, or are you learning something from it?
Definitely learning.
We learn in every day, because in life you need to unlearn to learn. And I think that's the beauty of us just being young marketers, you know, getting inspired, you know, because of change. We're all about transformation.
Exactly. Now, how do you feel about being brought back as a wild card?
I feel great. I feel great. It's
Yeah.
another opportunity for me to actually showcase myself. So I'm coming back with a whole new energy of actually bringing it this time.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm happy. Yeah.
But I mean, it's now you've got to prove yourself because
100%. Yeah, I feel like there's way more pressure now because, like, okay, you were brought back, so it's
Yeah.
time to show us what you have.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Now, I mean, I love a good tagline. Tell us about how Calm Your Farm happened, because now if I hear Calm Your Farm one more time.
I'm so sorry. When I get very passionate about things just kind of spew out of me and they kind of just come out. Like, I guess maybe watching too many series and witty people.
Musical.
And musicals. Yeah, they just
Calm Your Farm. Let's
Calm
have a
Your
look
Farm.
at this.
The project was not a huge success. Who did not pull their weight?
It all boils down to the project coordinator.
I had the balls actually to say that yes, I effed it up.
Can I just stop you there? Like, I appreciate you trying to take, you know, I appreciate you trying to take all of the blame, but you cannot take that all on yourself.
Exactly.
Whoa. Like, you're not the sacrificial lamb of this group. Just calm your farm. We were all in this together.
Oh boy, the drama. I thought that you were going to appreciate, the sacrificial lamb.
No, ain't nobody got time for that.
Why not?
Because I feel like there comes a time when there's group effort and then everyone also needs to take accountability.
Okay.
And at that
That's
point, I suppose everyone needs to take accountability, but there was just too much accountability being taken.
Okay. Okay. Now tell me something. The judges are amazing. Odette's hardcore.
Girl.
Very hardcore.
Is it quite threatening? Is it quite challenging?
I would say that it's quite challenging, not threatening in a way, because we came to learn, and she's been in the industry for so many years, more than us. We're still young. We still want to grab whatever that we need to grab in order to be at her level. And I find her very, quite very intimidating, yes, because she's in that high level. But we love everything, that she has taught us throughout these challenges.
Yes, she also makes you want to up your game every time.
Yeah. Now, I want to ask the two of you ladies a question as well, because, I mean, everybody in this competition are such big personalities. How is it having to work with them and then having to live with them as well in a fabulous new house?
I mean, I don't know about Shordell over here, but for myself, the living with other people was a bit of an extra challenge. But I'm constantly aware of what personality traits I'm projecting and which ones I'm just saving for the relevant moments in the competition.
Yeah, definitely. Especially at work, you go into that creative space. But I'm quite enjoying having those crazy characters back at the house as well. It seems to generate a bit more of creativity.
Do you think it's difficult to establish friendships because, I mean, you live with each other, so you naturally want to make friends and socialize, but then it's competition at the end of the day. So how does that affect the dynamics in the home?
Honestly, it does. I must be honest, I think, with everyone, because we go through so many emotions. The 1 week you guys are friends, the next day you have to go through the elimination. So it's been quite a challenge and a bit of spiciness or backstage.
A little bit of sauce.
I must say for the ladies. So yeah, definitely challenging.
I've been a judge on a few reality shows, and I must tell you, what the audience often doesn't realize and pick up on is you go through a full spectrum of emotions in one day. Like in real life, when something will take a month, it happens like a day and a half in reality TV time. So it is quite intense. Have you made any amazing relationships so far that'll last, or is it all just cutthroat backstabbing all the time?
I think it's been organic working relationships. I don't think we're at a part, well, for myself, I don't think we're at a part where we're that personal. But I think in terms of our skills and our talent and what we bring to the show, there's some nice relationships that have started to kind of blossom.
What's been the most important lesson learned so far?
I think for me, the ability to listen. I think the more you listen to all these amazing professionals, I've learned so much from these people. It's great. So for me, ability to listen.
I think it's more of a team spirit learning.
Do you guys have an idea of who your biggest competitors are yet?
Definitely.
A little bit, yes.
I don't see any competition. Sorry.
That's the sponsor. That's the sponsor talking about.
There's a pressure cooker and it's cooking.
Yeah, I can definitely see. Well, guys, keep it cooking with gas because we're absolutely loving watching you.
Cool.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Woo, Uncle, said tough. But Joburg, we see you representing, of course, coming through with the talent. And we've asked you on our socials if you've got any questions for the next brand ambassador contestants. We've got Museswa Goodness, who says, quite an unbelievable journey. But I want to know how they're feeling. And now that they've made it this far, I mean, starting from the videos that you guys uploaded, now being at this unbelievable point, how do you guys feel? Do we have a class captain?
We are feeling so excited. We've never thought that in our lives we'll actually be chosen as the next top 12 brand ambassadors, next brand ambassadors. And it took actually thousands and thousands of people, hopefuls, wanting to be where we are today. So for me and all of us, it's a very great experience indeed. And yeah, we're just going to keep continuing to bring it on the competition.
Indeed.
Absolutely, bringing it on as they do so greatly. Now, after the break, we catch up with more of the TNBA Top 12. See you after the break.
Express yourself.
Welcome back to Afternoon Express. I hope that you're having a glorious Monday afternoon. Now, the fourth week of the next brand ambassador has seen its panel of judges, Odette van Haar, Sylvester Chauke and Nandi Madida, select the finest that South Africa has to offer the world of marketing and branding by choosing the national top 12 from the regions of Johannesburg, Durban and Cape Town. Half the spots were gained to Johannesburg contestants, and it was Durban and Cape Town who collectively filled out the last 6 spots in the national top 12. So if you've got any questions for these amazing contestants, please do leave a comment and don't forget to use the hashtag Afternoon Express. Guys, welcome to the Loft.
Thank you for having us.
And well done for making it this far. How does it feel?
Nerve-wracking.
It feels amazing. It feels amazing. Personally, I'm very proud of myself.
Yeah, you should be. How's it changed any of your lives so far?
Oh my goodness. From learning from the judges and the challenges that we're getting, it has changed a lot, especially when it comes to knowledge and growing as a person and as a brand. I've learned so much in these weeks.
It's actually good because you get to learn about yourself as well, because there's things that you think you know, but when you're thrown in a space like this, then you discover that I actually don't know certain things.
That's actually an amazing point, because sometimes you don't know how you're going to react in situations, and you don't know if you're going to handle it well or not. Like sometimes, but that's, I suppose, how you get to identify your strengths and your weaknesses. So the judges are outstanding. I mean, I love her. Can I tell you, she's so spicy, but if you're going to learn from anyone, it's going to be her. And of course, Sylvester, I mean, he's just incredible. He's done so much in his life. What is the biggest lesson that you've learned from the judges? How have they helped you in this competition?
I think it's being able to look at your product and be able to identify what went wrong, you know, and that's a difficult thing to do. But when you are, say, in the losing team, or when the judges are really questioning you, you should be able to say, you know what? We went wrong here and we went right here. And that's a beautiful lesson to learn.
And for the rest of you?
Personally, for me, I'm a very dramatic person. I'm always causing obstruction.
We can tell.
Always causing obstruction. But they've taught me how to channel it directly and where to use it. So it's really been a life-changing experience.
Amazing.
And also, the other thing that I think we've all learned is to paying attention to details, especially when you work with the brands, because there's a lot of money thrown into these things to actually make the brand look good. So if you're going to miss the brief and do what you think is good for the client and not what actually the client wants, then you're going to face problems. So
I think when something goes well, it goes really well. Nash, my heart broke for you. Let's have a look at this little moment.
The search is on for the next brand ambassador. After an outstanding number of entries,
I'm the only one who notices Nash saying outstanding in the place of the word astounding.
It's not outstanding, it's astounding. Astounding number of
After an outstanding.
Astounding.
Yeah, that's what it's written even.
Can anybody tell me what outstanding is?
You do keep saying outstanding instead of astounding.
After an outstanding number of entries.
I'm just gonna say outstanding.
Outstanding number of entries.
I cannot believe we spent so much time with outstanding or outstanding, or I don't even know what it is.
After an astounding number of entries, one text message can change it all.
Astounding. I now know how to say astounding because Dan just wouldn't stop. I'm Xhosa. Certain words I can't say. It's not the mother of my tongue.
Oh my God, that was outstanding. But can I tell you, I do a lot of voiceovers, and you can't hear yourself sometimes. So that's when you need to rely on a really good director and experience.
And you know what? In life, you must be able to laugh at yourself.
Exactly.
And we created amazing TV with outstanding.
Exactly. And I think, you know, because obviously watching the show and enjoying it, but also knowing what's going on behind the scenes, you guys are working so hard behind the scenes. It's really, really grueling. What happened with the billboard shoot? Give us details.
There were so many spices in the biryani. So yeah, it was really an amazing experience. But firstly, it was so much drama. I think I was talking too much, basically a lot, but I've learned from that. So yeah, but we actually didn't fail too much on it. But yeah.
I didn't think you did too badly. What is it like when you watch yourself on TV? I mean, some of you have like cringe moments.
I did moment. I definitely had a cringy moment because one, I've never been on TV, never heard myself speak on TV. So it's like, girl, just get it right. Just get it right.
And the other thing is, I think personally for me is about diaries. I think I can always go back and narrate the story much better. When I see myself on TV, then I'm like, what was
What was I thinking that moment when I said that?
Then the Cape Town house is absolutely glorious. What is it like all living together? What a gorgeous house. For those of you who haven't watched the show, describe it for us. I love it. I want to move in.
If I must say, it looks like a top billing house. Something out of a magazine. You know, we didn't expect to have like this beautiful house. You come in there, you're like, oh, we're gonna stay in a guest house. But when you get there, you're like, what? That's really beautiful.
Nice, Sam.
Yeah, and it's very nice. Spacious, which is really important. Like if you're in your space and you're in your room, then that's where you are, and you can just take time out because this can be quite emotionally, you know, draining and challenging. So it's great that it's a spacious house and it's beautiful.
And are you finding any space for personal relationships between each other, like friendships, or is it? Look at you.
You can never trust anybody in this competition.
No,
really?
You can never trust anyone.
Stay, the same person you thought was your friend is
and they like
that is so hardcore.
And Odette's
like, I would struggle working in an environment where you can't trust the person. Okay, but Odette?
I was going to say, Odette always has a question, who would you send home?
Oh.
And the person that you think is your friend was like Afiba, and like, how dare you?
You're my friend.
I think what's generally happening is we're struggling to merge the two, the professional side of the relationships and the personal, because we are people. And at the end of the day, you're going to vibe with someone or have a genuine connection, but at the end of the day, they're your competition. So you can only be yourself to a certain degree that you don't actually make yourself vulnerable because this person is competition.
But you know what the problem is? I would like the person who is the one that I think would probably win, and then you think, oh, but if I keep them in, then I'm not going to work with the face. So, I mean, it's quite conflicting.
It is. Yeah, but it's a great thing that we don't get to choose who stays and who goes. Which sort of like, you know, limits the pressure a little
For
bit.
now.
But when the time comes, they throw you under the bus and be like, that one deserves to go home.
Well, thank you so much for creating such a fantastic show. We really are enjoying watching you, and we're rooting for you guys. Remember, Joburg is killing this, so you guys...
Not for long.
The competition is most certainly on. Now, we've asked you on our socials if you've got any questions for the next brand ambassador contestants. And we've got Unomonde who says, what have you learned about yourself since you started the competition? Tough one.
I've learned that it's quite important for me to stop self-doubting, because I think I've found that in as much as I'm very confident, I'm very sure of myself, but because you're surrounded with so many other individuals who are equally that, it's so easy to be in your head a lot.
I think for me, it's mostly to listen, because we have so many different people with so many different personalities. So if you don't really listen to each other, then there's really no room for growth. So I think that's what I learned personally, like listening to other people and giving them that space to kind of give you something to work with.
Yeah, I think any one of you could walk into a marketing job and do a great job already.
Thank you. I mean, look, I am definitely sold. We've got a comment and a question here by Unombuso, who says, first of all, I want to say hi to Umtasekaya Unasipi. And I would like to know, what role will the winner play?
What role would the winner play? So in this competition, you get the opportunity to work for the amazing Capitec Bank as part of their marketing team, which is such an exciting opportunity because Capitec is such a fantastic brand. So that's what we are all trying to compete for.
Oh, guys, good luck. It's going to be such a tough decision to choose just 3.
So many of us.
Thank you very much for being here today. So when you buy a new TV, you want to be sure that it'll be extremely fast and responsive for years to come. Now, formerly known as their Super UHD range, the all-new NanoCell TV from LG brings performance in spades with a top-of-the-line quad-core processor. That means you will always have fluid software performance, fast and responsive for all tasks. I wish I had better quad-core
processors.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, I love that. Now, look, we're pairing here fast hardware with the smart software is absolutely key when you are dealing with the LG ThinQ AI. Now, you can speak to your NanoCell TV through a remote to interact with the AI. Jeannie, this is the coolest little feature. Have a look at this.
Show me.
I'm about to check out what the weather is. How is the weather in Cape Town tomorrow? And as you can see, it is all thinking for me.
How amazing is that?
And it
Cape
is
Town
about
weather
to
forecast. Tuesday is expected to have a high temperature of 20 and a low of 13.
Beach day tomorrow.
Absolutely, girl. I'm right there with you. So simple, so
I love
easy.
things like this. I end up speaking to it with my voiceover voice. So you're able to give it commands, search for recipes, open up any of the apps on the TV like YouTube, and it'll contextualize your conversations so you don't need to repeat yourself. So it's available in 3 different sizes, the LG Nano Cell range, and it makes your favorite television programming as vivid as real life. Who is the most beautiful woman in the world? Please say Jeannie D. I swear it's Sir Jeannie D. No, I'm joking. Now, it's still to come on Afternoon Express. We meet some really inspirational women in the mining industry coming up after this.
Welcome back to Afternoon Express. Now, according to the Chamber of Mines South Africa, women only make up 18% of the working force in the mining industry. So Maida Ntuli and Hazel Bomba are working women in science, and they're here to give us some important insights about women in mining. Now, if you've got any questions for Maida and Hazel, head over to our social media platforms, but remember to use the hashtag Afternoon Express in all of your comments. Welcome to the Loft, ladies.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you. Absolutely beautiful. We've got ladies here in mining, science, explosives. Look, it's truly lit on this couch.
Yes.
Now, ladies, I want to find out from you, when did you get the inspiration to go into science and mining? Because it's, I don't want to say random, because we want to open up the playing field to women, but it is unusual.
Very unusual, I must say. For me, it came out naturally, actually. I always dreamed of being an engineer. Specifically, I always liked building things, putting things together, and then I researched about the different fields in engineering, and mining spoke to me specifically because not a lot of ladies are into it, so that's what drove me to mining.
Absolutely. Now, I know that there's always that intrinsic knowing back in the day where you feel like you can grow up with something and you grow into this person. Hazel, for you, where was the start?
Definitely high school. I've always wanted to know why. Like, why is water wet? Why is it hot? And chemistry, for me, gave me the vocabulary to answer those questions. So it made sense. I'm like, okay, cool, I'm going to do chemistry and change the world. So that was the plan.
So, Hazel, you're one of those kids growing up where you're like, Mom, why is the sky blue? Dad, why is this?
Definitely. Before Google. So they were like, go to school and figure it out.
And figure it out yourself. But I love that, empowering you from a young age, which is so important. Now, a lot of us don't know what goes into the daily activities, the daily routine in the field of mining and science. In very simple layman's terms, can you ladies break down for me what each of your roles entail?
Okay, I'll start off, of course, mining in general is about extracting a mineral from the earth, like the diamonds that Jeannie mentioned that she loves.
Yes, darling. Yes.
So that involves blasting. That's where we come in as our intelligent blasting. So we are suppliers of commercial explosives and initiating systems to the mining industry. I specifically come in, and I'm so passionate about it actually, is on how we can best extract that mineral. That's through blast designs, through studying data and understanding how to best actually use the explosives in the ground. That's where I come in. When we talk about the products that we use, like the explosives, because we're very explosive.
Yeah, you're explosive as ladies. I always say
the explosive side of mining. That's where Hazel's team and her expertise comes in. Yeah,
absolutely.
So I'm like the behind the scenes before it even gets to the mine.
Yeah.
We need to design those products. We need to make it in our plants. We need to optimize our system so that this is done safely, because this is explosives.
Yes.
So we need to figure out how to do all of that and how to stay as market leaders with new products and just keep on innovating. So I'm working with the research departments, the logistics, the manufacturing, to make sure that when MIDA gets it for the end user, it's a perfect blast every time.
It is a perfect blast. I'm sure you ladies do such incredible work. Now, you ladies are quite high up in the structure and of course the layers of the company and the business, right? But I find it always so difficult to make such critical decisions that have to do with the environment. And I know in 2019, it's all about sustainability. It's all about being environmentally friendly and healthy. How are you ladies ensuring that this happens?
So what I love, just from a product design point of view, is we're always looking for new ways. What type of raw materials are we using? You know, one of our products, we've used used oil. So instead of taking raw oil, we're taking used oil from your cars, from old stuff, putting that in the explosive. That's, we even call it our eco products. So that's one way that we're trying to do our bits with explosives and still being sustainable environmentally.
Absolutely, that recycling journey coming full circle, that makes so much sense to me.
And that's one of our values as an AECI company. Going green. It's definitely a focus for us.
So we are passionate about the environment as well.
Oh, look, we're definitely in alignment with that mission, absolutely. And how important do you ladies think mining and science is in the current South African climate?
Super critical.
Extremely. It's still a very big contributor in terms of employment and in terms of the economy itself. So it's not going to just simply disappear. It's about finding new and innovative ways of actually continuing.
Absolutely.
And keeping in mind, of course, the high unemployment rate that the country currently faces. So it's still very important. It's critical for the future.
I think that this goes above and beyond just the actual company and the people that are reaping the rewards, but also it feeds communities. You know, whichever mining industry or community you're a part of, it helps employ those all around you. Now, ladies, I have to ask the obvious question, and I'm sure all of our viewers at home want to know. We mentioned that the Chamber of Mines said that it's an 18% females in the workforce in the mining industry. How has the experience been for you?
I'd like to point out that 18% is a growth. It used to be worse.
Yes, 18% is a growth.
I guess the point I'm trying to make is that there have been improvements in the industry. And just I really liked having this interview now, after the events of last week, just to point out that things are really bad in this country for women, but there are pockets of excellence where companies are looking to make a difference, where we've seen that 18% is not sustainable. So what are we doing about it? And I think our company is one of those that is looking to take it from 18 to something better.
Absolutely. Keep
grow with
empowering our girls.
No, definitely.
Now, I'm
There's
sure
good stuff out there too. We mustn't just think it's 18% and we wish it could be 50%. Someday we'll get there, but it's definitely a great growth. I mean, mining in general is not very attractive. It's not glamorous. This is not our everyday.
Well, you ladies
It's
make
just
it look glamorous.
It's not that glamorous. It's not very attractive for a lot of women. Because of that, it's a slow growth. But it has been.
I mean, this is
growing.
monumental, and I think it's very fundamental that we have such incredible women that are sitting on this platform that are motivating all of our young girls at home to get stuck in, get involved, and of course not be overwhelmed or kind of shy away from standing within your power. Now, I'm sure a lot of ladies want to hear from you at home. What words of wisdom, encouragement, or advice do you have for these girls?
I would say be bold and confident in what believe in you, in what you actually passionate about, and drive it, regardless of whether there are men in the room only and you're the only lady standing. Guess what? They also need that feminine side. So you do have a value to add at the end of the day, and you need to believe in that. Honestly believe in that.
Oh, I'm moved. Yourself, Hazel?
I was just thinking that sometimes I feel our girls short sell themselves. You know, like they don't plan to take over the world. They don't plan to do big. They just want to, okay, we'll just graduate and whatnot. But I say, go forth, go conquer, dream big, and just, you can. Why not?
Why not? Absolutely. Thank you so much, ladies, not only for standing firm in the industry, being industry leaders, and of course, motivating all of our loved ones at home. Thank you for joining us.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Clover Good Hope Soy Milk. Soy goodness naturally. Made with love by Clover. Now, as most of us are in the process of getting into shape for summer, the diet requirements play a very important role in helping us achieve summer body goals. Now, it all starts and ends with what you put into your body and with the wholesomeness of Clover Good Hope Soy Milk. Now, you will already be off to a great start, but to help and guide us on the journey of healthy eating is dietitian Kim Hoffman. Please welcome back, Kim.
Thank you.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
You know my favorite conversation is always around diets. Just
Absolutely.
because I think,
and mine too.
Yeah, because I think it's so important for people to have a healthy relationship with food.
Absolutely.
And have absolute body positivity. And I think you only look so good when you eat so good.
Absolutely. You do shine from the inside.
Exactly. So obviously I've tried every kind of diet and every kind of fad, but something that's now really very popular and that's obviously helping the world as well at the same time
Absolutely.
is plant-based diets. So tell us a little bit about the fundamentals of the plant-based diet and the benefits, I suppose.
Okay, so you can't go wrong with plant-based diet.
Really?
It is extremely healthy. You'll benefit from a health perspective.
Yeah.
It's associated with a decrease in obesity as well as the chronic diseases like your heart disease, your diabetes, your cancer, and especially inflammation, which we know is huge at the moment. The problem with South Africans is we love our meat. Most of South Africans do, and they really don't want to give it up. And this is a great thing about the plant-based diet, is it's moving closer towards plants. So percentage-wise, you just want to get more plants in and less animal. So plant-based diet is basically your vegetables, your whole grains, your legumes, your fruits. And you can have small amounts of lean protein and low-fat dairy as well.
Now, obviously, with the introduction, or with the highly plant-based diets, you get a lot of soy products as well. What exactly is soy?
Soy comes from the soya bean, so it's a legume to start with.
All right, and then what are the benefits of obviously having soy?
Okay, so soy, and especially we'll look at soy milk, it's a plant food. So it is naturally, has no cholesterol, and is low in saturated fat. So win-win. Also, if we look at the milk, there's no lactose in it. There's a lot of
so
people
vegans can also have soy.
Yes, so there's a lot of people that suffer with lactose intolerance.
Yes.
So soy milk is an excellent substitute, and soy milk has protein in it. So it is actually the best substitute for cow's milk if you want to take out cow's milk and find an alternative to it. It's also very high in vitamin A, it's high in potassium, it's high in B12, it contains isoflavones, and most of them are also fortified with calcium and even vitamin D.
Amazing.
So overall,
at the
good
moment,
health.
plant-based diet can't go wrong, and soy milk, actually, you can't go wrong.
It's a very good choice.
That is incredible. What are some of the rules when planning a balanced diet?
Okay, so I was thinking about these rules. Everyone loves rules to follow.
I know. But you know why? Because it shouldn't be a diet. It's got to be a life plan. It's got to be something sustainable.
Absolutely.
And I think when you learn little rules and little tricks to help you sustain it, then it's easier to actually have a balanced diet.
So the rules of balanced diet, simply put, is you need to eat more foods that give you nutrition.
Okay.
And less foods that give you too many calories. So we need all our nutrients within the right calories of our day.
Yeah.
So we need to focus more on nutrient-rich foods, like fruit and vegetables, and less on calorie-rich foods, which as a whole we can define as junk food.
But you know what the problem is? Like for me, and I'm pretty sure the majority of South Africans out there, and definitely Americans, that's why half the world is obese, is sometimes you don't get full enough eating. Do you know that
So
feeling?
interestingly, the junk food fills you less well.
Yeah, well,
than
but,
the real
but
food.
immediately you feel so satisfied once you've eaten rubbish.
That's a satisfaction, yeah.
I
It's
know.
not the satisfaction.
Exactly.
So if you want a rule for balanced diet, look at your plate model.
Yeah.
Half vegetables and fruit.
Yeah.
The other half is your lean protein and your whole grains.
Okay.
And then a glass of milk with that will balance the whole meal out. So that's a nice rule in terms of I want a balanced plate.
All right. And then when your coffee and tea go soya.
Well, if you're wanting to go plant-based, then that is.
But
a good
otherwise,
direction
dairy's
to
still
go.
amazing. I love
dairy.
dairy.
There's nothing wrong with dairy.
No.
It's about moving away from animals ultimately.
Exactly.
Is what we're trying to
Thank
do.
you so much for being here today.
Absolute
Absolutely
pleasure.
love sharing with you. And obviously, getting me into shape for summer.
Yes, because eating right is one thing, but putting it all together is also important.
It's an art, actually. And it's beautiful when you eat well.
Yeah.
It's great.
And so other rules that you can follow is things like make sure you eat breakfast. So many people skip it. You need to eat early, you need to eat more during the day, less at night, and you need to learn what hunger is.
I try, must you feel hungry?
Yes, and you've got to understand real hunger.
Okay.
So stomach hunger.
You see, because we all learn different things, like don't starve yourself, intermittent fasting. Oh, we're going to have you back on the show to discuss that.
Good
but
idea.
I'm glad that feeling hungry is a little good for you. Now, made from the highest quality, non-GMO, naturally grown soybeans, Clover Good Hope soy milk is lactose, cholesterol, and preservative-free. And paired with these great nutrition tips, we are certain that your summer bod goals will be easier to achieve than you think.
Clover Good Hope soy milk. Soy goodness naturally. Made with love by Clover.
Just as following a feeding schedule is important for humans, the same goes for our furry companions. And following a scheduled eating plan is often key to maintaining a happy and loving dog. We speak to canine behavioralist Sabrina Talyard to discuss the importance of following a feeding schedule and what it means for our dogs. Welcome to The Loft, Sabrina.
Thank you for having me.
So, Sabrina, break it down for me for the beginning. What are some of the methods people use to feed their pets?
There's a number of ways you can feed your pet that doesn't involve a bowl. You can create variety in your dog's day and make feeding an interesting and important part of the day. So what you could do is you can use slow feeders, interactive feeders. You can even scatter feed where you throw food on the ground for your dog so they have to work to get the food. It's something for them to look forward to. They really enjoy working.
Absolutely, it sounds like that. So how does a scheduled eating plan look like and why is this important?
Basically you'll start with feeding your dog regularly at more or less the same time every day. So we create that routine in your dog's day. It's something for them to look forward to. It creates structure as well. And to start with that, I would recommend feeding more than once a day. So some people feed their dogs once a day. But it's nice to feed them more often, even if it's 2 or 3 times a day. But do keep an eye that you're not overfeeding your dog. So feed them more or less the same amount that you would have fed, but just break it down into smaller segments.
Absolutely. So how do you start to introduce this? I mean, especially to an untrained dog.
Well, they don't really need training. All dogs are food motivated. So, most dogs are food motivated. They enjoy eating. It's a primary reinforcer, which means it just comes naturally for them.
If my pets are anything like me, we enjoy our food. So I can see how this is relevant. Yes. And is there specific ages that a pet can be introduced to a scheduled eating plan? Is this applicable for puppies as well?
Yes, definitely for puppies. Creating that structure starting from day one is so important. So it's the same with potty training. You will get that structure, get it in. Every 20 minutes, take your dog out, same with food. So you'll feed your puppy 3 times a day if possible, and you'll work your way down to twice a day, but more often the better.
Sabrina, what are some of the benefits in having a structured eating plan for our pets?
It allows us to keep an eye on your animals, so you'll know if they're not well. So eating is the first thing to go. So if they're not feeling well, they're not going to eat. Creating this variety in their day and in the way they get their food is internally rewarding for them, lets them work to get their food out, and it also helps to curb boredom. So if they are getting all of these things that they need in life, they're less likely to develop behavioural problems later on.
Oh, absolutely. I've learned so much from you, Sabrina. Thank you so much for breaking this down. Now treat your fur-legged companion the right way. Martins offers a wide range of treats for all types of pets. With their range of semi-moist treats for dogs with omega-3 and 6, it helps maintain a healthy skin and coat. And the Martins Healthy Centers for cats with a crispy outer shell and yummy filled center will have your pets loving every single bite.
Express yourself.
On the next episode of The Next Brand Ambassador, things kick up a notch as the top 12 get their first challenge working for a real brand.
Things are about to get serious now.
Right about now, I'm going to actually ask who's got issues.
Kanye comes in, guns blazing.
What is happening?
Kanye should be coming in your heart.
Honey, I told you so.
As always, Tennille has something to say.
Bye-bye.
That's The Next Brand Ambassador, Thursday at 7:30 p.m. on SABC3. Proudly brought to you by Capitec.
Welcome back to Afternoon Express. I hope that you're having a wonderful Monday afternoon. Now, warmer weather, longer days and clearer skies are signs that spring is finally here, bringing in color and nature's splendors that bloom as naturally as our gorgeous guest. Here with us today is the lady who knows all about blossoming and shining, a woman who embraces self-care and personal well-being as part of her winning regimen. And she is, of course, fashion stylist Bronwyn Day. Now, Bronwyn, Bronwyn is, of course, Glamour Magazine's former fashion director, a vintage lover, stylist, dreamer, a mother, my friend, and of course, she juggles it all together every day. So today, we're getting a little bit more personal with her and finding out how you make it all happen and how you stay so fabulous. Now, Bronwyn, I was thinking the other day how long I've known you for, and I think we met when I was about 18.
Yes.
I've literally known you my entire adult life.
Yeah, but I mean, you're only in your 20s, Jenny,
But
so
you look
it's only a couple of years.
I
You know? No, I'm joking.
Since we're 25 now,
Yes,
it's not that
something
long.
like that.
But what does self-care mean to you? Because you, if I think about you, you've just always embraced who you are and always been so chic. What exactly is self-care to you?
Well, self-care, I think, is just getting to know yourself and knowing what you need as a woman. So for me, it's very important that self-care can be something that is as simple as listening to some amazing music in the morning when you're making your coffee. It could be putting on your favorite lipstick. It could be going to have your hair done. So for me, self-care is various things. So it's just really important that self-care is a part of your daily routine, because I'm, looking after my kids, I'm working, I'm a stylist, so I'm running around a lot, and it's good to sometimes just take that break and take that time for yourself.
Conversations like this are so important for me because, I mean, working in the entertainment industry, we're around such fabulous people all the time, but often I meet girls who don't have self-confidence and who don't know how to take care of themselves. And I mean, how do you think you can inspire girls to find their inner shine?
Well, their inner shine needs to come from within. So for me, beauty also comes from within. It's really important that you're happy, and happiness is a big part of my life. So for me, little things that make me happy kind of sort of augment my day, and then they put you in a good mood, and then you want to dress nicely. And obviously fashion is a form of self-expression for me, always has been. So for me, getting dressed in the morning is sort of the start of my day, and it makes me feel very happy to dress other people and make sure that they feel good. So I think for most women, it's important just to spend that time on yourself, not feel guilty. So ditch the guilt. There's no guilt in whether you're a mother taking that half-an-hour bath, or now that we have water in Cape Town, last year couldn't have said that, or just, making that time to go and have your hair done. And if you miss a soccer match, so be it. You can't be everywhere. So simplify a little bit.
What I find so important is, like, I know it's difficult to just tell somebody to be happy, but sometimes it's actually work on yourself. That's my definition of self-care, working on yourself. And actually, do you have any mantras or any kind of thing that you tell yourself every day, just looking in the mirror going, you are great, you are going to do this, you are beautiful, you are happy, and telling yourself that? Do you have any of those processes?
Some days I have good days. I mean, we all have good days and bad days. Some days are better than others. Some, suddenly you in a good mood and everything and the sky's blue and it's just birds are tweeting, and other days it feels like black clouds are rolling in, and it's normal. And that's when it's good to take that time just to center yourself again and just make sure that you balance a bit of your time every day with all the other things that are going on in your life. So I don't have a particular mantra, but for me, it's surrounding myself with people that make me feel happy, and it automatically just really inspires me to also pass on the happiness.
And you know that it actually shines out of you. Whenever I see you, I can't help but feel happy.
You
So
too.
thank you just for being you. And I think, in South Africa, we've got to look after our girls. And women, you've got to look after yourselves.
Absolutely.
And
It's really
be kind
important.
to yourself. I think that's the most important lesson. Be kind to yourself.
Be very kind.
Self-care is a selfless treat for your body and your mind, rewarding yourself and restoring yourself for the day and your week ahead, giving you the energy to take on whatever life throws at you. And, as long as you can shine with elegance and confidence. Like all the best, make room for some self-indulgence and opt for Big Soleil Shine Essentials and embrace your time to shine. It's available, of course, at your local leading retailers nationwide.
Make this summer your time to shine with Big Soleil.
Hi, my name is Simphiwe Ngema and I play Pindile Shezi on Isidingo. And you could be joining me on Tropica Island of Treasure. Buy Tropica and follow the instructions on the bottle. Take a video of yourself and tell us why you would be my ideal partner. Then upload it on all the social media platforms, your Twitter, your Instagram and your Facebook using the hashtag TIOT9. Come find your smooth fame and fortune on Tropica Island of Treasure carousel.
Welcome back to Afternoon Express. Now, Appetite Fest, the biggest culinary and entertainment festival that Pretoria has ever seen, returns to Times Square from the 13th to the 15th of September 2019. Presented by Sun International in association with 94.7, this year's three-day Appetite Fest promises to be bigger and better than the inaugural festival in 2018, with an extra day added to give you food adventurers more time to explore, as well as more gastronomical experiences and spectacular entertainment.
Absolutely, and Sun International and Afternoon Express are very excited to announce that we're giving one lucky viewer the opportunity to win the experience of a lifetime. If you simply SMS the keyword WIN along with your name and city to 33650, you'll be entered into a random draw to win a set of double tickets to this year's Appetite Fest from Friday the 13th of September to Sunday the 15th of September.
Now, joining us once again for this year's Appetite Fest is culinary media personalities Gary Mahagan, George Columbaris, Matt Preston. So get ready not only to have your most desired cravings fulfilled, but also your hearts, with entertainment led throughout the three-day festival by Lady Zamar, DJ Fresh, Good Luck, Shut Up It's Sunday, Kimmy K, Mellow B, DJ Atlanta, and Palani Boo Boo.
Oh. So exciting! Touch I feel like is mine. Now enter our competition by simply SMSing the keyword WIN with your name and city to 33650. The competition closes at 6 p.m. this Thursday, the 12th of September, and entries are limited to residents of Pretoria and Johannesburg. SMSs cost R1.50. Free SMSs do not apply. T's and C's do apply and can be found on afternoonexpress.co.za.
It is official, fellas. We are going to South Africa for Appetite Fest.
At the Sun Arena in Times Square in Pretoria.
There are three of us. There's going to be top chefs, there's going to be artisan producers, there's going to be a streetery, live entertainment. Tickets are available at CompuTicket. It's going to be Lekker Brew! Lekker Brew!
Amazing. And my cousin Warren Mendes, who was on the show last week, he's going to be there as well doing a cooking demo.
I'm so excited. I'm also going to be there.
So tomorrow we cook along with one of the smoothest rappers on the scene, Chad Da Don. Can't wait. Until then, good night and God bless.
Mwah. Chad Da Don.
Afternoon Express, made with love by Clover.
Another feel-good production.